The first time my homeowners association threatened to fine me $100 a day, it was because my driveway didn't have snow on it. Not because it was cracked, not because it was ugly, not because it broke any law. No, my driveway's crime was that it was too clear. And I remember standing in my living room window that morning in Boulder, Colorado, coffee still warm in my hands, watching snow fall softly across the neighborhood, every roof turning white, every lawn blanketed, every driveway slowly disappearing beneath powder, except mine. Mine looked like it was the middle of July. And standing in the middle of it was Patricia Kennedy, president of the Meadowbrook Hills HOA, pointing at the pavement like she'd just discovered evidence in a murder investigation. That was the moment I realized something important. This was not going to be a small argument. My name is Henry Xavier, and the whole mess started with what I thought was the smartest home improvement decision I'd ever made. See, Colorado winters are beautiful until you're standing outside at 5 in the morning with a shovel, trying to chip ice off a steep driveway while the wind cuts through your coat like a knife. I'd lived with that routine for years. Wake up early, shovel snow, sprinkle salt, hope you didn't slip, then drive to work exhausted before the day even started. And as an HVAC engineer, someone who literally designs heating systems for a living, it finally occurred to me one winter that this problem had a pretty obvious solution. Radiant heating, the same technology used in heated floors. Pipes under the concrete circulate warm fluid, gently heating the surface. Snow melts instantly. Ice never forms. The driveway stays clear no matter how hard it storms. It wasn't cheap, $15,000. But compared to decades of shoveling and slipping and salt damage, it felt like an investment in my sanity. So I did everything right. I hired a licensed contractor, got city permits, passed electrical inspection, submitted the installation plan to the HOA Architectural Committee. And then I waited. 30 days passed. 40. 50. No response. According to the HOA's own rules, if the board didn't respond within 60 days, the request was automatically approved. So after day 67, the system went in. The installation took 3 days. When it was finished, you couldn't see anything had changed. The driveway looked exactly the same, just normal concrete. Except when winter came. The first big snowstorm rolled into Boulder in early December. I woke up, walked to the window, and honestly, I felt like a kid watching magic. The entire neighborhood was buried under snow, except my driveway. The snow touched the pavement and vanished. And that's when Patricia Kennedy showed up. She marched up my driveway, with 2 HOA board members trailing behind her like assistants to a very dramatic queen. "Henry," she said, her voice dripping with fake sweetness, "we need to talk about this monstrosity." I looked down at the driveway. It looked exactly like it had yesterday. "What monstrosity?" I asked. She pointed. "That. It's a heated driveway." "Yes," she said sharply, as if I'd confessed to a felony. The next few minutes felt like arguing with someone who believed gravity was optional. Patricia demanded to know if I had HOA approval. I explained about the submission, the 60-day rule, the permits. She didn't care. "The board did not give explicit approval," she said. "Then maybe the board should have responded," I replied. Martin Chambers, another board member, stepped forward. "The problem," he said seriously, "is aesthetic inconsistency." I blinked. "Meaning, your driveway is clear," he said. "Everyone else's has snow." I stared at him for a long moment. "You're saying my driveway should have snow on it?" "For neighborhood uniformity," he replied. That's when Patricia dropped the bomb. "You'll receive a violation notice. Remove the system within 14 days or face a fine of $100 per day." I actually laughed. Not because it was funny, because sometimes when something is that ridiculous, your brain doesn't know how else to react. The notice arrived 2 days later. 3 pages of legal language accusing me of violating HOA standards. I called my attorney immediately. David Chun had handled my home purchase and knew HOA law inside and out. After reviewing everything, he said something that stuck with me. "Legally," he said, "you're in the clear. But HOAs don't always fight legally. They fight until people give up." And Patricia did exactly that. She filed complaints, sent lawyers, Then one afternoon, she called the police. Two Boulder officers showed up at my door. Apparently, the HOA had reported an illegal heating system. The officers inspected everything, checked the permits, and quickly realized the complaint was nonsense. Officer Thompson even crouched down and touched the pavement. "Radiant heat system?" he asked. "Yep." "How much did it cost?" 15 grand. He whistled. "Worth it, though." I gestured to the rest of the street where neighbors were shoveling snow. "You tell me." He laughed. Before leaving, he said something simple. "Your HOA is being ridiculous." And honestly, that should have been the end of it. But Patricia wasn't finished. She escalated everything. Lawyers. Threats. Even tried raising my HOA dues to cover legal expenses. That's when I decided something. If this fight was happening anyway, I wasn't going to hide from it. So I attended the next HOA meeting. About 30 homeowners sat in folding chairs inside the clubhouse. Patricia opened the meeting like a judge announcing charges. "As many of you know," she said loudly, "one resident has installed an unauthorized driveway heating system." Every head turned toward me. But then something unexpected happened. A neighbor raised his hand. "Wait," he said. "Didn't he submit plans?" "Yes," Patricia said. "And didn't the committee fail to respond within 60 days? Silence. Another homeowner spoke up. "Does the rule even forbid heated driveways?" Patricia's face tightened. For the first time, people weren't blindly agreeing with her. And something shifted in the room. Neighbors began questioning the board, reading the documents, challenging the logic. The meeting ended with the issue tabled. But the real twist came a few weeks later. Officer Thompson stopped by again, this time in his personal truck. He'd gotten a quote for installing a heated driveway himself. While we were talking, he mentioned something interesting. A state legislator had been collecting complaints about HOA overreach. Apparently, lawmakers were considering reforms. I contacted her office. Then a reporter called. 3 days later, my driveway was on the front page of the local newspaper. The article spread across social media like wildfire, and suddenly Patricia's private crusade became public embarrassment. Neighbors started talking, questioning, getting angry. Within a week, someone started a recall petition. 40% of homeowners signed it. 3 weeks later, the clubhouse was packed for a special vote. The result wasn't even close. 78% voted to remove the HOA board. Just like that, new leadership took over. Their first motion? Drop every action against me and apologize. Unanimous vote. The fight was over, or at least the official part of it. After the meeting, Patricia stopped me outside. For the first time since this whole mess began, she looked tired instead of furious. "You really don't know why I hated you," she said. I shook my head. "You bought the house I wanted for my daughter." Apparently, she had planned to purchase it. Needed 2 weeks to arrange financing. Then I came in with a cash offer. The deal closed before she could act. Her daughter moved away. And Patricia turned that resentment into 3 years of quiet hostility. It didn't excuse what she'd done, but it explained something important. Most conflicts aren't about what they appear to be. Snow, driveways, rules. Those are just surface details. Underneath, it's usually pride, regret, or pain. In the months that followed, something strange happened. People started installing heated driveways all over the neighborhood. 6 houses the first year, 8 the next. Property values actually went up. The HOA eventually updated its rules to officially allow them. Meanwhile, the state legislature passed a reform law limiting HOA authority. My case had been used as one of the examples during hearings. And every winter now, when snow falls over Boulder, several driveways in our neighborhood stay clear and warm beneath the storm. Sometimes I stand at the window and watch the flakes melt when they touch the pavement. And I think about how absurd the whole story was. One driveway, one stubborn HOA president, a fight that spiraled into legal threats, newspaper headlines, and state legislation. But if there's one thing that whole experience taught me, it's this. Standing up for yourself isn't just about winning an argument. Sometimes it's about reminding people that rules exist to serve communities, not control them. And sometimes the smallest decisions, like installing a heated driveway end up changing far more than you ever expected. Now I'm curious about something. If you had been in my place, would you have fought the HOA like I did? Or would you have ripped the system out just to keep the peace? Because honestly, a lot of people probably would have. So tell me what you think. Was standing my ground the right move, or did I just get lucky that everything worked out? And if you've ever had your own run-in with an HOA, I'd really love to hear that story too.